gentlemen, please welcome Nvidia co-founder and CEO, Jensen Huang.
Hello, San Francisco. We have been looking forward to this day for many years. All of us have been working towards this day for many years. Today, I have 3 announcements to make. We're going to announce a revolutionary television, a game console, and a supercomputer. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's get started. All of us at Nvidia has dedicated ourselves to advancing the craft of visual computing. 10,000 people, one singular focus. And it's taken us on an incredible journey. I would say it almost started in a big way in 1997 when we introduced the world's first programmable GPU. And it made it possible for game developers to have an infinite palette to express their art. From that day forward, video games became more beautiful, became richer, more realistic, and different game genres started to have different looks. The game industry exploded. And because of the intense technology needs of video games in order to simulate reality, it drove our technology like no other technology in history. Today's GPUs are the most complex processors that anyone builds. It made it possible for us to extend into one industry after another and revolutionize it. There are no products that I know of today, whether it's a car, a movie, a plastic bottle I was just drinking from, where Nvidia's GPUs weren't involved in its design. 10 years later, because of our desire to bring physics simulation to video games, so that the games themselves can come alive, we invented a new technology called CUDA GPGPU. The GPGPU revolution took us into data centers, high-performance computing, and today, almost every country has supercomputers powered by Nvidia GPUs. 10 years after that, we invented a new technology called the virtual GPU. We had the dream that we would put GPUs in the cloud and somehow make it possible for you to experience graphics in a computer that wasn't close to you. We call it the virtual GPU. As a result of all these inventions, it has taken us from the gamer's desktop to workstations in corporations, data centers all over the world, cloud services all over the world, and even now cars. Because of the work that we've done, we're now involved in some amazing work in deep learning and artificial intelligence and self-driving cars. Desktops, workstations, notebooks, data centers, cloud, cars. That journey has been incredible indeed. And today, I want to talk about a brand new place that journey has taken us, the living room. The modern living room is, as you can imagine, a smorgasbord of technology. Smorgasbord of technology. You know, when the most enthusiastic person is the person who sells HDMI cables, you know that there's something wrong with the architecture of your living room. Well, it turns out there's an enormous amount of entertainment for us to get. Cables, of course, game consoles, of course. Now we can enjoy on-demand video with these streaming devices. But one of the interesting things that's developing, and one of the more recently popular products, are people using tablets and then connecting it to their television using Chromecast. They would like to benefit and enjoy just an incredible number of applications that are in the Google Play Store and be able to share with their friends or share with their family and play on a much larger screen their television. I think this is just the tip of the iceberg and signs of things to come. And the reason for that is this. Well, the signs of things to come is mobile cloud, I believe, will revolutionize our television experience as mobile cloud has revolutionized our mobile communications. Just as smartphones has now become everyone's most popular device, I do believe that these early indicators would suggest that the smart television would be the way that we enjoy television in the future. And in fact, we're seeing a great deal of products that are very successful already. There are tens of millions of these devices sold each year. They're growing incredibly fast. These smart devices, smart television devices with applications will replace dedicated devices over time, just as an application has replaced your GPS on your smartphone, an application has replaced your music player on your smartphone, an application has replaced your radio on your smartphone, the application has replaced your camera on your smartphone. These smart devices running applications would increasingly disrupt the dedicated devices around it. Well, just replacing what you used to do before is surely interesting. You have fewer things to carry. But what's really exciting are applications that come along that you never dreamed of. Who would have thought that Uber would completely change the way we travel around cities? Who would have thought that Twitter would come along? These applications are simply not predictable, and these applications are simply possible only because the smartphone is a rich computing device connected to a cloud service, and these applications can flourish and surprise us over time. I think the same thing is going to happen in smart television. Initially, application after another will replace the dedicated devices that we have in the living room, making your living room a little bit more elegant. But before you know it, applications will come along that surprise us. We don't even know what it is, and I have no idea what it is. I do know this. There are a lot of clever people in the world. If they only have access to a rich computing device, a large screen, and a cloud store, amazing things can happen. Well, this is a very, very fast-growing segment. I believe that someday, everybody is going to want a smart television experience. Everybody will want a smart television experience. This is likely a multi-billion unit market. It is just the beginning. I believe we can make a unique contribution here. So ladies and gentlemen, today we are entering and introducing Nvidia's first living room entertainment device, the Nvidia Shield. Well, the Nvidia Shield was designed, I'm so proud of it. The Nvidia design team really outdid themselves. The Nvidia Shield is designed with a couple of ideas in mind. First of all, it has to be performant. Performance is one of the key attributes of this little sleek box. However, It also has to be modern, it has to look elegant, and it has to look elegant whether it's sitting flat or sitting on its edge. Right now it's sitting in a stand that's designed for Shield. It is a one-piece anodized die-cast aluminum that's machined exquisitely. When you get up close to it, that is just a beautiful thing. It feels cold and heavy in your hands, and you slide Shield perfectly into it. Shield was designed to look good both laying down as well as sitting up. But one of its most important functionality, of course, is all the peripherals that it has to, all the things that it has to connect to. So gigabit Ethernet, of course, it has one of the highest performance Wi-Fi systems for reasons that I'll tell you about later, USB connectors, and such. It's designed so that it looks good in every single direction. This is the bottom. And when it's sitting flat, it's incredibly thin. It's incredibly thin. And of course, you can enjoy it whether it's sitting flat or standing on its edge. I think when you pick it up, you'll discover that this is a device that, although it looks elegant, in fact, it's a different shape on each side. Ladies and gentlemen, the Nvidia Shield.
I know, well, hopefully they'll.
Hold on to your money. It won't be much longer.
Shield. Tablet Shield.
Nvidia Shield.
Now it's just Shield.
I'll tell you all about it in just a second. The Nvidia Shield. Well, the design, of course, is important, but how it works is even more important. And so let's take a look at what it does. So first off, Nvidia Shield is the world's first 4K Android TV. It's not just 4K resolution, it's 4K decode, H.265, and it's full 10-bit video processing. The video on the Nvidia Shield is just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. You don't have a piece of equipment in your house like this today. This particular set-top box, if you will, smart TV device, if you will be able to receive 4K 60 hertz video when the services become available very, very soon. Let's take a look at how it works.
I know, right? Calm down for the bottles.
It's broken.
Was David supposed to join me out here? Or there? And there he is! Ladies and gentlemen, David Ang. David and I tortured each other for years as we worked on this device. Okay, so let's talk about Android TV. Let me tell you first of all why I love Android TV. Why now? Why now? Why did we do this now? Well, obviously the reason, of course, is finally we have an operating system, Android TV, and the folks at Google really did a bang-up job on it. I think they really cracked the TV operating system. David Burke, Hiroshi, and the guys really did a fantastic job. And we're going to show it to you right now. But there are 4 things I really love about Android TV. Number 1, it's based on the most popular operating system in the world.
That's all I need.
1 billion devices were shipped last year using Android, and billions are in use. The second that I love about it, of course, is the richness of the store that is connected to the Android operating system, Google Play. The entertainment applications and the services, the largest in the world. The third thing that I love about it is that it syncs with all of my other Android devices. So if I buy music or buy movies or whatever it is, it's all available on all of my devices. And then lastly, it has this incredible voice search. It's just incredible to talk to your TV. I sit there and, of course, I'm testing this device, and it just gives me hours and hours of great joy. The serendipity of the places that it takes you, the funny things that you say and it comes up with, the funny things it comes up with that you didn't say. It's amazing. It's just really, really just hours and hours of fun. Hours and hours of fun. So let's show it to them now.
Sure.
All right, so David, the first thing I'm going to show them is, of course, plenty of movies.
All right. Let's take a look at Avengers.
Avengers, our favorite movie. I guess they work for an organization called Shield. Huh, that's interesting. They just like that ripped off our name.
Agents of Shield, get it?
But you know what's really amazing about this, of course we can watch movies, but if this was backed up by something that Google would do, imagine what it could do. Wow, look at that. Chris Evans. Well, you know, he's interesting, but keep going a little bit more.
There you go.
Really? Okay. All right. So let's Scarlett Johansson. What happens there? So she is an American actress, a model, and a singer. Huh, didn't know that. Okay, and then let's go down a little bit. All the movies that she's in. Lost in Translation, fantastic movie. Fantastic movie. I didn't know that she was in Home Alone 3, really?
That's her, yeah.
Is that her? Okay. Chef, that makes, yeah. Island, one of the must miss. Keep going. Okay, just The Prestige. I gotta, yeah, say a few words about that. Really gotta watch that. Girl with a Pearl Earring was pretty good. Okay, and then what else? And of course a bunch of YouTube things. You know, just incredible. And so you could just search on and on and on and just, you know, go from one place to another place. Well, let's go do something else.
All right. How about some music?
Okay. I stopped listening to music in the 70s, but as a result of...
I have to ask you to voice search your favorite artist now.
Voice search for my favorite artist, well, Justin Bieber. I was just repeating what the guy in the front said. So what's a song that he does? Well, look at that. It's amazing. He just listens to you and comes up with stuff. There you go. Any way you want it, that's the way you need it. Any way you want it. It's just totally fun. You sit at home and just ramble on your television.
You just play
Hours of fun. Hours of fun.
It's like if you use a
Okay.
clip,
All right, what else do we have?
100% property, 99% of the video is not there.
I'm not kidding you. This video will be banned on YouTube now. I'll get my account closed.
Look at your photo album. Share your photo album with your family, your friends.
Yeah.
Who knows what comes up?
Gotta fool the algorithms.
Okay. All right, that's fantastic. But you know, this is a 4K. This is a 4K set, right?
Yeah.
And so let's take a look at what 4K looks like. Now remember, this is 4K 60 hertz, guys. 4K resolution, 10 bits per pixel, 30 bits per pixel instead of 24, and at 60 frames per second. Now, of course, this projector isn't able to do that. We're simply decoding it and pumping it up at 30 frames a second.
Just stop thinking.
That's amazing, isn't it? Good job. Well, who doesn't want that? Isn't that the right experience for your television? And what we've done, of course, we built a very high-performance smart TV device so that all of the experiences are snappy. If you want to launch an application, it's snappy. The 4K UI, nice and silky smooth. And if you were to, you know, launch whatever kind of application it is, it's nice and snappy. Well, we also designed something really cool to go along with it. Well, if it's something that you talk to, it seems that you should have just a nice, simple little remote.
saw that with Amazon Fire.
Nice simple remote. Now this remote is actually kind of special. It's special. It has a high data rate bidirectional Bluetooth, so that it's nice and snappy when I talk to the television. Has a microphone right on the top, as you can see. There's a one-click, one-touch voice search button. It highlights the microphone so that you know that this is a remote control you ought to be talking to. It also, because it has Bluetooth, has the ability to be a Bluetooth receiver if you were to plug in your headphones. And this way, if you would like to enjoy your television experience privately, or you were asked to enjoy your television experience privately, you can just plug in headphones and this little remote will stream directly from Shield to the remote, and it'll be joy and peace for the whole family. It's designed, of course, to be very, very intuitive to anybody who uses the Android TV operating system. The back of it is one piece aluminum, exquisitely machined. The front is this lovely, glossy, lacquer-looking face. And down the cradle in the middle where it tells you how to hold your remote, all you have to do is slide your thumb over it, and that's your volume control. Okay?
My mom would use that.
You don't ever have to replace the batteries. You don't ever have to replace the batteries because it's rechargeable by USB, of course. Of course, why not? And there's a mic on the bottom. Okay? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, the Shield remote. All right, our first announcement, a revolutionary television. A revolutionary way to enjoy television. Second, you know we care a little bit about gaming. You know we care a little bit about gaming. And the fact of the matter is, although 25 years ago when we first started this journey, gaming was a niche market. But gaming is surely no longer niche. This is a pop culture now. It is a massive industry. It is a global industry. It is a growing industry. And frankly, everybody's a gamer. Just ask the president.
That's my wife said. It's actually niche, but...
You guys don't watch that show?
That's a story. Hold on, let me... He knows how to pronounce it.
And so, what we think is that a set-top box should also be able to game. And wouldn't it be amazing, though, if we were able to expand the reach of gaming? You know, quite frankly, gaming on television today is really about the console. And the console is fantastic. For millions of us, we'll do anything to have a great gaming experience. However, we can expand the reach of gaming 10 times, 100 times, if we can simply make it more accessible, so that it's click and play away. Just a click and a play away. We think that if we can leverage somehow the power of mobile cloud and do for gaming what Netflix did for videos, what Spotify did for music, we can really expand the reach of gaming. And so the question then became, how do we do that? Well, the first thing we have to do is design a great processor. We designed the Tegra X1.
Yeah.
The Tegra X1, we call it a mobile super chip. This little tiny processor has 256 GPU cores. I'm going to show you what it can do in just a moment. But just to give you a sense of what its performance is, we're using a pretty old benchmark here. I could use a more modern benchmark, but unfortunately, many of those other devices simply show up as do not run. And so I've used a relatively old benchmark. And this old benchmark will show that we're about 35 times faster than the Apple TV. Now you need that performance. You need 35 times faster than Apple TV because you would like to have more and more applications. And some of those applications require an enormous amount of computational capabilities. Well, being faster than a smart TV device is good, but it surely isn't necessarily good enough if you would like to have great games. You need to have a platform that allows game developers to be able to port and to be able to address, to engage, so that they can deliver great games. We need to know that TX1 can deliver good games. Well, if you compare it to one of the most popular game platforms in the history of mankind, you can see that this little tiny chip called TX1 with 256 Maxwell GPU cores can deliver over twice the performance of an Xbox 360 and at 1/5 the power. At 1/5 the power. Now the question is, why is that important? Well, it turns out that about 100 million people have enjoyed console games of that generation, and yet there are well over 1,000 amazing titles created. Several billion people should enjoy it. How do we get several billion people who all have televisions to be able to enjoy the 1,000+ games that were created for that generation? They are still beautiful. They're still amazing. If we gave them a platform that allows the developers to simply remaster, put it in the cloud, click and download, and before you know it, you can now enjoy that wonderful game for all of the people who didn't go to the trouble of buying a game console, all those people who didn't go through the trouble of digital download at the time, all those people who didn't go through the trouble of buying the DVD. TX1 in Shield with 256 Maxwell cores and 3 GB of memory makes it possible for us to engage this new market, to expand the reach of gaming. So number one, we have to build a great processor. Number two, the system has to be designed to be incredibly powerful. Now, if you're a 3D graphics company, you got to do everything in 3D, you know? And so maybe we'll just, can we turn the lights back on real quick? You know, give me a slide. Okay, shoot, in 3D. Well, first of all, this Shield was engineered so that it could be whisper play. Don't forget, this is a smart TV device. It has to deliver the performance on the one hand, run full out, and when you're a gamer and you're playing games on the Shield controller, which David was using earlier, the Shield controller is engineered for serious gaming.